pretty much shot. They're shot, are pretty much shot. Okay, welcome back to American Dream Garage and another episode of my restoration project for my Jaguar XKE. So I'm sitting in front of it. From previous videos, I brought it in because it had a couple issues, a power steering leak, and pretty much started tearing the whole thing down. So I have pictures of previously posted about what it looked like total, but what I like to go through now is a more careful review, focusing on the front end where I started, because it's pretty much complete, and showing all the things that I've done. And then we're going to do a couple tests today. We're going to put it on the ground and check the wheel alignment and camber just by eyeball. And then the other thing is we're going to put fluids in it, everything but brake fluid, because I've learned my lesson that the rear end's not on it, so that would be instant leak. So we will take a quick tour of the car real fast, and then we will get to it. So starting out underneath, again, I'm not restoring this car to be a concourse trailer queen. I'm restoring it to be a driver. I wanted to make sure that everything has been totally redone. So, you know, looking at the front passenger wheel, you can see it's got new rebuilt brakes, all new ball joints, tie rod ends, new sway bar bushings. Up here you can see the new steering rack, basically, or a rebuilt steering rack, all new coolant hoses, and we'll see some of this from up top, but new alternator, and again, new shocks. And on this side, it's got a brand new caliper. So we pulled the radiator. I didn't redo it. They're very expensive. But I flushed it, cleaned it, and added some cooling fans, which will show from the top. So we'll let her down and take a look. Okay, so I'll start with the passenger side. There's a few little things I need to do. This battery, the battery tie down, which I got new clamps and stuff for, doesn't fit, so I have to get a smaller battery. Got new battery cables. Got a new air conditioning dryer, all new hoses relative to that. Replaced all the hoses on the fresh air system, redid the vents inside, powder coated the air cleaners, new bolts and washers on that, new air cleaner. Moving up to the carburetors, I did not take the carburetors off because the car has been running very, very well, but removed all of the cooling system pipes, the thermostat housing, new thermostat, new cooling sensor, new hoses. There were 19 cooling hoses in this car. Pulled the valve covers, redid the valve covers, repowder coated them. Got nice new Jaguar sticker. All new vacuum hoses, all new fuel hoses. You can see under there, pulled the intake manifold and on both sides and powder coated all these pipes, and the accelerator linkage were powder coated, as well as all new hoses and clamps. A lot of cases, new nuts and bolts. Moving up, I mentioned that the radiator was not replaced. It was cleaned, and then I bought this high volume cooling fan and temperature sensor setup So we'll see how that works. The seller guaranteed me that the car wouldn't overheat even in August. Got a new air conditioning compressor. I mentioned the new dryer, a new alternator. Moving on the other side, the same over here, but new brake reservoir, clutch reservoir, washer fluid reservoir, secondary brake reservoir, new resistor, new washer pump, all new hoses. This was a surprise, the heater box. Little did I know, I never used the heater, that I didn't notice that any of this stuff was missing. So this is the heater control valve. Inside is the heater core. None of that was there. It was empty inside. There was a blower motor on it, but I went ahead and replaced it. So we have a new blower motor. So from a front of the car perspective, I think that's pretty much it. So you can kind of see that I went through and really replaced everything, but I did not do it, again, to a show quality. So some of these things, like these are grade 8 bolts. I'm sure that that's not factory, but for the most part, it's original. There's a couple of vacuum components that are missing. There was a emission control unit right there, as well as this gulp valve, which I basically plugged it because it's all after combustion type stuff. There's a carbon canister down here. So a lot of that stuff wasn't functioning to start with, so I just make sure that there's no vacuum leak. So going down the middle again, I forgot that new distributor cap, rotor, new plug wires, and all new plugs. So I'm hoping that when I go to start it, which will probably be sometime next week, that since I didn't mess with the carburation, I did adjust the distributor. Well, I did replace the cap, but I didn't adjust anything. Then it should fire up. So anyway, the first thing I want to do is I want to drop it and check and see. There's various adjustments. There's the torsion bars as well as shims to see how the wheels look. When it's up in the air, you notice it, I notice by eyeball, it's a little bit tilted out, but we'll see what it looks like on the ground. Okay, so I can't come down any farther than that because you notice it doesn't have a rear end. So, okay, so I'm looking at it. So I'm looking at the right side. The camber looks good, and this wheel is pretty straight. This wheel looks to be turned in just a touch, so that's just an adjustment of the tie rod end here, and we'll have it correct. So we'll do that. Okay, I went ahead after the antifreeze and I put it up in the air. We'll take it up a little bit further. I'm noticing a slow drip. Remember, this had 19 coolant hoses. So we come up under here and look, it's coming from the right side of the engine, and I'm looking at one of the lower, it's actually a heater hose, and the clamp on it is not tightened. So it's a very easy fix. Again, so 19 coolant hoses, 38 connectors. And I went through and checked them all. I thought, obviously I didn't check this one down here underneath. Okay, so we're good. So we will move to oil. Okay, so while I had put the oil in, I also put in some power steering fluid. We'll get my light. The floor is shiny because of the coolant that leaked out, so I got it cleaned up, and it's been a little bit of time, and you can see maybe you can see, there's just my normal filth on the floor, and so we have a little bit of a drip there. I might try and tighten that hose a little bit more. But looking around at the steering rack, I noticed a little bit I might try and tighten that connection a little bit more, but I don't notice any coolant. I look around at keep in mind, this is a British car, so British cars are known for leaking. But I can see a little glisten there, but that may be just from the gasket. I've got one drip from here. I put a fresh washer on it, but you know, I didn't see anything on the floor underneath that, so I might give that one more tug. But overall, I'm pretty pleased. Again, when I start the car, we might find a few more problems. And the way this normally goes, when I start the car, we will find some more problems, but we will find the solutions. But I tell you what, if I could get this car fixed and get it on the ground and not have any leaks out of it, then I won't pat myself on the back, but I would feel pretty darn good about it. So the last thing I wanted to show you underneath here is I really haven't done much to touch up the frame down here. And what I am going to do is order some paint that I could brush on and some rubberized paint for this section here, just to clean this up a little bit. And then I notice I have some overspray on some of the suspension parts that I will get off. But again, I'm not trying to make this a concourse, but I want it to be, I mean, I'll show you a stack of receipts that I put in it so far. I want it to be a solid number 2. And from a value perspective, that's well worth the effort. So anyway, we will continue to work on the rear end. It's over here. And I might even clean up my shop a little bit, but as it sits right now, my wife doesn't come out here unless I invite her. So anyway, we'll do that. That's a one-piece bolt-on, so it's pretty much ready. I've got to work on the parking brake and the disc pads and a few other things. Got one more brake caliper to put on, and then it'll be ready to bolt in. So when I bolt it in, connect the brake lines, that's it. I'll be able to drop it, and then it looks, you'd say, wow, where's the front of the car? Well, the front of the car is sitting over here underneath this tarp, and it connects by 2 pivot points and a support bracket over here, right here, that connects connects right here, and that's it. So with somebody to help me, I can have that on in 30 minutes and it'll look like a car again. So join me for future videos.